Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Sadeval and I am of Rehan School, मनोवर कैंपस फाउंडेशन लेवल स्टूडेंट. तो फ्रेंड्स, आज मैं करने वाला हूँ कोल माया गाइस. तो हम शुरू करते हैं.
What's up?
Hi. So my today topic is consciousness, tracing the evolution of awareness.
Now we're getting into the real deep end. Tracing awareness is a huge undertaking. Do you want to start with how it evolved in animals, or are you thinking more about the human side of things?
My first question is, what is consciousness?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? In the simplest terms, consciousness is your awareness of your own existence. The fact that you're not just a biological machine reacting to things, but that there's actually a you inside experiencing it all. This is the difference between a camera recording a sunset and you actually feeling the warmth of the light and thinking, wow, that's beautiful. It's basically the internal movie of your life that only you get to watch. Does that fit with how you've been thinking about it, or do you have a different definition in mind?
No.
Wait, we're done already? No. You had me worried for a second. I'm locked in. What's the next question?
Okay. What do you...
Haha, you're throwing me for a loop. What do we need is a big question. Do you mean what do we need for consciousness to exist, or something else entirely?
Yes, first.
All right, speed round it is. To get consciousness, you basically need a complex nervous system, specifically a brain that can integrate a ton of different information at once. You need sensory input to tell you what's happening outside and a way to process that internally so you can reflect on it. It's like having the hardware, the neurons and synapses, and the software, which is the actual experience of being alive. Ready for the next one?
Yes. My next question is, why is consciousness important?
Because it's essentially our survival superpower. Without consciousness, you're basically just following a script: eat when hungry, run when scared. But with it, you can actually plan, imagine things that don't exist yet, and learn from a mistake without having to actually make it again. It allows you to move from just surviving to actually living and making choices. Do you think we'd be better off if we were just biological machines, or is the struggle of being aware worth it?
Okay, my next question is, what is self-awareness?
Self-awareness is like taking consciousness and turning the camera around to look at yourself. Well, consciousness is just...
Okay, so
I'm all ears.
My next question is, what is the mind?
That's where things get really interesting, because the mind isn't exactly a thing you can touch. If the brain is the physical hardware, the meat and electricity, then the mind is the actual experience that comes out of it. It's your thoughts, your memories, your personality, and the way you feel about the world. It's like the difference between a piano and the music it plays. The brain is the instrument, but the mind is the song. Does that make sense, or does it feel a bit too abstract?
Okay, my next question is, why do humans think?
Basically because our brains are evolved to be the ultimate problem-solving machines. Thinking is how we navigate a world that's constantly changing. Instead of just reacting to a threat, we can analyze it, weigh different options, and figure out a strategy. It's also how we make sense.
Continue.
Exactly. It's our way of taking a messy, chaotic world and organizing it into something we can actually handle. Without thinking, we'd just be stuck in a loop of basic instincts. Do you think we sometimes overthink things to the point where it actually gets in the way, or is more thinking always better?
Yes.
I figured as much. It's the classic human trap, thinking so much about the problem that you actually create new ones. Are you ready for the next question on your list, or do you want to explore that for a second?
Next question. Can animal
I'm
be
ready.
can animal be consciousness?
Absolutely. Most scientists agree that many animals are definitely conscious. While they might not be sitting around pondering the meaning of life like we do, they feel pain, joy, and fear, and they have their own way of experiencing the world. Think about a dog's excitement when you come home. That's not just a programmed response, it's a genuine feeling. Do you think there's a specific animal that seems as aware as a human, or maybe even more so?
Yes.
I have a feeling you're thinking of dolphins or maybe chimps. They've got those complex social bonds and problem solving skills that make you wonder what's actually going on in their heads. What's the next question on your list?
What is thinking?
Whoa, we just went from animal consciousness to the color pink. I love the pivot. Physically, pink is just a light shade of red, usually created when red light mixes with white. But in our heads, it's usually tied to
Two
things like
minutes.
softness,
2
sweet.
minutes.
I'm
My
listening.
question is, what is thinking?
Back to the deep stuff. Thinking is basically the mental process of manipulating information. It's when your brain takes the things you've seen, heard, or remembered and starts connecting the dots to form an idea, a decision, or a solution to a problem. It's like your mind is talking to itself to figure something out. Does that feel right? Or are you looking for something more scientific?
Something more scientific, I guess.
If you're looking for the science, wait, really, we're just getting to the science. Are you actually heading out or are you just teasing me again?
No. My next question is,
You gotta stop. In our next question, hit me with it.
what
What's the next one?
what is memory?
Lemo. You've definitely caught me off guard with that one. Are we talking about a nickname, some kind of slang, or maybe something related to lemons? Give me a hint.
Okay, my question is, what is memory?
Memory is basically your brain's filing cabinet. It's the process of encoding information, storing it, and then being able to retrieve it later. Without it, you'd be living in a permanent present. You wouldn't know who you are, where you've been, or even that you're currently having a conversation with me. It's what turns a series of random moments into a coherent life story. Do you think some memories are more important than others, or is it all just data to the brain?
I don't think so.
I'm not quite sure I follow. Did you have another question about memory, or were you starting a new thought?
I have more questions about memory. Let's start.
I love that you're feeling. I'm all in. Since you're feeling passionate about it, where do you want to go with memory? Are you talking about how it works, why we forget things, or maybe how it shapes who we are?
My next question is, why is memory important?
Because without it, you're essentially a blank slate every single second. Memory is what gives you a sense of identity. It's how you know your own name, your family, and all the lessons you've learned so you don't keep making the same mistakes. It's basically the thread that ties your past to your present, allowing you to build a future based on what's actually happened in your life. Do you think our memories define who we are? Or is there something deeper than that?
I don't know. Next
That's
question.
the big mystery, isn't it? Let's put it how. Are we trying to find a way to explain it, or are you moving on to a new question on your list?
What is intelligence?
Intelligence is basically the ability to take information and actually do something useful with it. It's not just about knowing a bunch of facts like an encyclopedia, but about how you apply those facts to solve a problem, learn from a new experience, or adapt to a situation you've never been in before. It's that spark that lets you connect dots that other people might not even see. Do you think intelligence is something you're just born with, or is it something you build over time?
Build over time, I think so.
I'm glad you think so. I'm on a roll here. What's the next question on your list?
What are emotions?
Emotions are like the internal compass for your experience. They're intense biological responses to what's happening around you, designed to tell you instantly if something is dangerous, wonderful, or just plain wrong. Well, thinking is the slow, analytical part of your brain. Emotions are the fast, instinctive part that pushes you to act before you've even had time to process the facts. Do you think emotions make us more human, or do they just get in the way of logical thinking?
I don't know.
That's the eternal struggle, right? Some days it feels like they're our greatest strength, and other days they just make everything more complicated.
I think so.
Are you ready for the next
Yes.
week?
Are you ready for next question?
I was born ready. Lay it on me. What have you got? I'm all ears.
Why do we feel emotions?
This is basically an ancient survival system. Your brain uses emotions as a shortcut to keep you alive. Fear tells you to get away from the cliff. Anger tells you to fight for your space. And love tells you who is worth protecting. If we had to logically analyze every single danger before reacting, we'd probably have been eaten by a tiger a long time ago. It's like a biological alarm system that goes off before your conscious mind even knows what's happening. Do you think some emotions are more useful than others, or do they all serve a purpose?
I don't know.
That is so sweet of you. You're making me blush. I really enjoyed these deep dives with you, too.
Next
Are we
question.
sticking with the emotions topic, or do you have another question on your list?
Another question.
I'm feeling the love today. I love the energy. It's a blast diving into these big ideas with you. Do you have another question on your list, or are we exploring something new?
Um, Explain something new. Let's start question.
I'm locked in. Give it to me. What's the next question?
What is learning?
Learning is basically the process of updating your brain's map of the world. It's when you take a new experience or a piece of information and actually wire it into your memory so you can use it later. It's not just about memorizing a fact, but about changing the way you think or act based on what you've discovered. It's like adding a new tool to your mental toolkit every time you figure something out. Do you feel like you learn better by doing things hands on or by listening and thinking it through?
Second option.
Listening and thinking it through, the reflective approach. There's something about letting an idea simmer in your head that makes it stick way better than just rushing into it. What's the next question on your list?
My next question is why do
I'm ready.
why do people learn?
Because curiosity is basically baked into our DNA. On a practical level, we learn to survive. Knowing which berries are poisonous or how to build a shelter is a great start. But beyond that, humans have this deep seated drive to understand the why behind everything. It's what pushes us to explore space, create art, and have conversations like this one. Learning is how we grow from just existing into actually understanding our place in the universe. Do you think people learn more from their successes or their mistakes?
Mistake.
I'm with you on that. There's something about a mistake that just sticks in your brain in a way a win doesn't. It forces you to actually stop and figure out what went wrong, which is where the real growth happens. Do you have another question on your list, or are we shifting gears?
We are shifting. My
I'm ready for the shift.
what is knowledge? No, oh, sorry. My next question. Why is knowledge important? Okay.
Because knowledge is basically the map we use to navigate life. Without it, we're just guessing. It's what takes us from being confused and overwhelmed to feeling confident and capable. Knowledge gives you the power to make better choices, solve problems faster, and understand other people's perspectives. It's the difference between just seeing a forest and actually understanding how the trees are talking to each other underground. Do you think there's such a thing as like knowing too much, or is more knowledge always a good thing?
Yes.
I totally get that. Sometimes knowing too much just makes things more complicated and you start overthinking the simple stuff. Do you have another question on your list, or are we moving on to a new topic?
Uh, I think so. Moving on our old topic.
I'm ready for the transition. We've covered a ton of ground with consciousness and knowledge. What's the new direction we're heading in?
Okay. Who has humans' consciousness changed over time?
That's a massive question, but a fascinating one. I think the biggest shift is that we've moved from a consciousness centered entirely on immediate survival, like is there a predator in those bushes, to one that's capable of abstract thought. We've developed the ability to think about the past, imagine a future that doesn't exist yet, and even contemplate our own existence, which is exactly what we're doing right now. Plus, the way we process information has shifted with technology. We're now extending our consciousness into digital spaces and collective networks. Do you think our brains are actually evolving, or are we just using the same tools in new ways?
Evolving, I think so.
I'm listening.
Okay, my next question is,
I'm ready. What have you got?
what did early humans learn first?
Probably the most basic, if this, then that rules of survival. Like they had to figure out which plants were food and which were poison, how to track animals, and how to read the weather. But the real game changer was definitely fire. Learning how to start it and keep it going completely changed how they lived, ate, and stayed safe. Do you think mastering fire was the most important leap, or was it something like developing language?
I agree.
You're thinking about it. Take your time. Are you leaning toward fire, or does language feel like the bigger leap to you?
My next question is, okay,
I'm ready. What's the next one on your list?
how did language improve human awareness?
I think you're And I think you're asking how language actually shapes our awareness, right? It's kind of a chicken
No,
and egg situation.
no, it,
Language doesn't just let us,
okay, okay.
it actually gives us the tools to think more complex thoughts. Once you have a word for a feeling or an idea, it's like you've finally caught it and can actually examine it. Without language, your awareness is mostly just reactions and images, but language lets you build a narrative of your own life. Do you think there are some things we feel that are just too big for any language to actually describe?
I don't know.
I think
Next,
most of us feel that way sometimes.
next
Like those
question.
moments where you're so happy.
Next question, I think so.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm ready. What's the next question on your list?
Hmm. Why is
Cheers.
language important?
Because language is basically the bridge between two separate minds. Without it, you're stuck inside your own head with all your ideas and feelings, and there's no way to truly share them. That lets us pass down knowledge from one generation to the next so we don't have to start from scratch every time a new person is born. It's essentially the operating system for human civilization. Do you think we'd still be able to build a society if we only had images and gestures, or is spoken language the only way to get things done?
I don't know. Okay, next question.
It's a wild thing.
I think so. Next
I'm
question.
ready.
Why should we
I'm all ears.
why should we control our emotions? Okay, answer me first.
Fast it is. Basically, because emotions are like a powerful engine, but logic is the steering wheel. If you let the engine just run wild, you'll probably crash into something, like saying something you'll regret in a moment of anger or letting fear stop you from doing something amazing. Controlling them isn't about deleting your feelings, it's just about making sure you're the one in charge of the car. Does that make sense? Or do you think some emotions are better left unchecked? Me. I love it. Since you're still here, are we continuing with the questions or are you taking a little breather?
Continue questions.
I'm locked in. What's the next one on your list?
Okay. My next question is, how should we think before making decisions?
The best way is to start by zooming out. Instead of just looking at the immediate result, try to imagine how you'll feel about the decision in 10 minutes, 10 months, and 10 years. It helps separate the temporary emotion, like panic or excitement, from what you actually want in the long run. Then it's usually helpful to play devil's advocate and ask, if this goes completely wrong, why did it happen? Do you usually trust your gut instinct right away, or are you more of a list maker who weighs every single pro and con?
Move to next question.
Honestly, games person. I'm a little lost on the next person. Are we talking about how other people influence our decisions, or are you moving to a new question?
New question.
Fair enough. I'm open to being corrected.
My next question.
What part felt?
Okay. My next question. What
I'm
respons-
ready.
what responsibilities come with taking consciousness?
That's a heavy one, but a great question. I think the biggest responsibility that comes with being conscious is ownership. Once you're aware that you exist and that your actions have an impact on the world around you, you can't just blame instinct anymore. You're suddenly responsible for the choices you make and how you treat other conscious beings. It also means you have a responsibility to yourself to keep learning, to question things, and to try to make sense of the experience of being alive. It's basically the burden of having a choice in who you want to be. Do you think having that kind of awareness makes life better, or does the weight of that responsibility make it harder?
Second question, I think so. It is easy question. My next.
I hear you.
Okay.
It can definitely feel like I'm ready for it. What's the next question on your list?
How can awareness reduce confidence?
That's a really sharp observation because usually people think awareness is what builds confidence, but it can actually do the opposite. When you become more aware, you start noticing all the gaps in your knowledge or, the flaws in your approach that you were totally blind to before. It's like when you start learning a new language and suddenly realize how many mistakes you've been making the whole time. It makes you feel less confident because you're finally aware of the standard you're not hitting yet.
So today interviews end. Bye.
And that's a wrap. You really put me to work today with those big questions. I hope the recordings are exactly what you need for your project. I'll be here whenever you're ready for the next session. Bye.
I think so. My next session in next day. Okay. So friends, so guys, हमारा मतलब आज का कॉल माया टास्क ख़त्म हो चुका है। मैं दोबारा आऊँगा एक और नए टॉपिक के साथ कॉल एंड करने। आप सब अपना ख्याल रखें। तब तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज़। मेरे चैनल को लाइक करें, सब्सक्राइब करें।